Microsoft brightening whole game dev industry with Genie 3 release. Plenty of updates from Hitem 3D and Studio API drop from Tencent. In this news episode with Philip.
Big first news is that we now have Genie 3 released by Google, and this is really great because it gives us the ability as well to now build words from prompts actually. And you will see here on their side that we have this new frontier world model. We can navigate around in those worlds, and when we take a closer look you will see that it is able, for example, to create 3D environments, which is of course great. And you will see some great examples over here where we can then shift around in the worlds, so really big time, you know, and also have this interactive 3D worlds, which could be a real game changer, you know, in the future when this is getting developed, you know, to build games from scratch with the environment and then to implement your 3D AI characters, for example. We also have here on their project page, you can see further examples where we can then simply type in a prompt here in for the environment and the character. And as you can see, Genie 3 will then be able to create a whole world for it with a third person view even. So that's really great. And you will see here some further examples where a dog is walking through the grass, and this is also looking really amazing. And I think this is just getting better, you know, over time. So really great to see this. And now back to Stefan.
One of the best 3D AI continue cooking cool updates. This time Wildwood 3D quietly migrating to version 2.5, which promised to be even better. If you never heard of it, this 3D AI known for 8K crazy textures and highly detailed meshes, and it takes first place already for 3 months, going head to head to all the major players. This time we have even better textures, even better prompt understanding, more control over the poly count, and improved textures, of course. The only thing is that it's probably the most expensive right now, but you pay for the quality. And also tomorrow I'll drop a video where we will compare it with other 3D AI models.
This week's episode seemed to be the really episode about new 3D world generators. And here we have a huge one because it's actually open source. I'm talking about Lingbot-World. It's a advanced open source world model, and you can basically run it on your own local machine, which is just simply amazing. And you will see here just a sneak peek, and I mean, just look at it. It's really looking like a fantastic game view, and the effects we have on the video itself is really amazing. Also the dragon effects and stuff like this, it really looks like a AAA game, you know, and it's really exciting to see this because they really want to push forward open source, you know, and bridge the gap between tools like Genie 3, for example, and the open source world. You will also see that we have here further demos where it's also comparing Genie 3 to the Lingbot-World base. So I think this is really great to see, and definitely make sure to check it out.
Hitem drops plenty of updates for last 2 weeks, and one of them is actually improved portrait mode. So in portrait there is a new version 2.1. I already did some tests and it looks good. It looks pretty much the same to me as it was before, but I see that it just follows the prompt itself a little bit better. For example, this is one of the previous version. You can see the results, and here's the new version. So it feels way better, at least like from this view. It looks way better than before, even though before it was not that bad. Here is the example of version 2.0. You can see it looks okay, but I think it's not really following the prompt, where I would say the new version actually follows the prompt more in terms of facial expression, in terms of shape. And here's one more example how it creates some stuff like this. I think it's one of the best in terms of faces right now. I really like Hunyon as well, but this is one of the best for sure for faces, for busts, and so on. Let me know in the comments if you want a detailed comparison on faces and stuff like that. I will definitely do a video. Now back to Philip.
Next up, we have ComfyUI motion capture, and this one is already a bit older, but it has huge potential because, as you can see, we can directly in ComfyUI extract the motion from this tennis player. It will then convert a mask for it, and then it will translate this into 3D. And you will see here the 3D result actually, where we then have a working body, you know, with the exact motion, and it's actually doing a pretty well job. So definitely make sure to check it out. This is still under development because there are some installation issues at the moment, but I'm sure this will be fixed very soon. So we will link it to you as always down below. We do have also a new tool called Swing by Cartwheel, and you will see over here that we can with text prompts animate our characters. And this is really cool because, as you can see, it's not just able to do text to animation, but also motion capture, stuff like this from an iPhone video, as you can see here. And it translates the motion really well. So I think this is great. It's also capable to, create emotions. So we can prompt something like, laugh or sprint or something, and you see her face emotion will change. So we definitely dive more into the animation field, and what is possible there. So really exciting times.
Next up, Rodin finally opened the access for everyone for their Retopology tool, which is actually quite good. So when you created a model, before you confirm the geometry, you have a choice to choose Smart Low Poly, which will take 5 to 10 minutes, as they say, and will basically create a low poly version. The only thing, you cannot control poly count really. You can just say low or high. And if you don't want to wait just to compare it with Hunyuan, you can always do that on Top 3D AI. There is low poly mod, and of course Hyper 3D already there and Hunyuan 3D already there. So you can check it out on different objects, how it performs. I saw many people in my Discord at least saying that they prefer Rodin over Hunyuan, which is interesting because for me Hunyuan was number one so far. You can take a look on different examples. So here is Rodin and here is the Hunyuan. Not really a big difference, I would say, and compared to anyone else, it definitely way better. And lastly, Hunyuan 3.1 is now also available in global version as well as in API. And you also have 20 free generation per day. 3D Studio not available yet, but that's not a big problem now if you are a developer, since they dropped the APIs almost for everything that is available in Studio, such as Smart Topology, 3.1 Image to 3D Pro, and also you can use Part Splitter. The downside, however, is that is one of the most expensive. Smart Topology costs almost $1. And if you have access to Chinese version and 3D Studio there, you can still use it for free. Guys, you definitely need to take that chance right now.
And just some very small news that we still wanted to show you is that Heighten 3D is now offering like a relief generator. And this is great for, especially for 3D printing. So you can simply, like you see here, take a kind of 2D image, of it, and it will then create this really nice relief, and you can even refine it then with the thickness and so on. So I think this is also a great gimmick, in case you would like to print something like this. And on top of that, Heighten 3D plan to release the online editor, which will be then able probably, that you can edit your mesh online. There's not so much known about it, but you can apply for the whitelist, to get edited there on their Discord server. So as always, we really hope you have enjoyed this news episode. Let us know down below what you think is most exciting and what you would like to see featured more in detail. And as always, make sure to join the Pixel Artistry Future Frames newsletter that you will also find down below, and make sure to subscribe to Stefan's and my channel. Also, let us know down below what you would like to see covered next in the news episode. Having said that, see you on the next one.